Nobody's even on here yet, but I'm just laughing at how ridiculous this picture is back there. They finna be looking at me and Miss Tina all night. Hey, Amy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I like that background.
Yeah, I never changed my background, but at the last minute, I was just like, you know what? I was playing with my settings and I was like, you know what? I should change my background to this picture. So I was like texting it to myself on my MacBook so I could put it up there. And then I had to go back and crop it. And I was like, they're gonna be sick of me looking at me and Miss Tina all night.
Oh, no, no.
Like it's super appropriate today. So
Yeah, it is.
but I'll have me and Kennedy on the background. See, look what I did. That's hilarious. What's going on? Hey, hey.
Hello, hello, hello.
Jess should have probably done what I did too, since she has a picture, but
Well, I'm eating dinner, so I'm not gonna come on camera.
Jess, you should have did what I did with my background.
Oh, let me see. I don't know how to do
I
that.
well, I
I
went
might,
into Zoom settings, but I had to crop the picture down just a little bit so it would fit perfectly. But
let me see.
you might have to exit out and go back in, but like in the corner where you have your profile and then click on settings
Look, you
and
can
then
totally do it while you're in because
done it before.
uh-huh.
Okay.
My friend got an award and it was a Zoom, it was COVID time. And
Yeah.
had her in the background, like they had like if you're celebrating somebody, and then I had a job interview and I pop on the job interview and she's behind me. And that's my friend who I work with. So the people knew her. They're like, oh, you went to her award thing this morning. I was like, oh yeah.
Oops. Forgot to change that, huh?
I changed it during the thing. I was like, I'm so embarrassed.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Next month, I'll have Kennedy out there now. Since I've got these pictures now, might as well use them. What up? What up? I'm just gonna give it a few more minutes, or not a few, but you know what I mean. Let some people hop on. It feels like it's been forever since we met, and I don't know if it's just because I had a lot of stuff going on in May, but it honestly feels like it's been months since the last time we met, and I know
And
that's a
didn't
lot.
we meet later in May?
Yeah, I was about to say it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
we
the
met.
twins' birthday, or was it
Mhm.
April? What are we? No, May. Yeah, maybe
Or
we
was it
did.
April?
Yeah, because April,
Maybe
I
it
know
was
I
April.
pushed it back for the twins' birthday. The 7th fell technically on the second week of May, or the first Wednesday of the month fell on the second week. Yeah, it was the volleyball tryouts. Remember that? I now remember that was the day that Tenley made the team, and I was like flipping out on, uh-oh, Felicia's coming in here. Look at this.
Hey y'all.
Gang, gang. Hey, hey. All right, I'm just gonna give it another second or two to let people get on. And hey, Felicia.
Hi. I'm gonna
Asia, we
try to
should have
move
told
to my
Brandy to come up on here.
I
Sorry, what'd
know.
you say, Felicia?
I'm gonna try to move to my laptop.
Mm, you're fine. Just send the request and all.
Streak going across my face for some reason. Hmm.
Okay. All right. I guess we can go ahead and get started. If people pop on, they pop on. I feel like we missing Talisha, we know is out of the country. Nicole, not sure where she's at. Kim doesn't
Said at
typically.
graduation.
Oh, that's right. She said she would pop on afterwards. Thank you. Okay. Today we were discussing, look, you can't even see it now because I've got this stupid, just look at the book back here. There you go.
I
This
get
right here. Like I can't even show you all the book because, oh, if I do it in front of me, maybe. Okay.
yeah.
Matriarch by Tina Knowles. You know why this feels like it's been so long? It's because I read this in April and it just feels like that's why. I'm like, it feels like forever ago. Because I tried to, well, I did read it before I went to her book tour. So yeah, I've read this and June's book. But yeah, for me it was a 5-star read. I absolutely loved it. I think this is as close to Beyonce getting a memoir as we're gonna get. I feel like she told us the things not only about her own life, but about Beyonce that we would want to know about her career and growing up. And I just found Miss Tina to be super fascinating. I loved hearing about her growing up, her background in fashion, because, she had such a huge impact on just Destiny's Child as a group and things like that. So it was nice to get some backstory on her impact and just her growing up. Um, so yeah, what were y'all's general thoughts of the book?
Same. I enjoyed it. Loved hearing some of the backstories from just her life and her just kind of making stuff make sense when it came to Destiny's Child and all that stuff from as far back as their Star Search to, the hair and the fashion. And I kind of had to laugh because I've always, when the person said or that the clothes was homemade or something, I have to admit, I always thought that about their costumes. But it was okay, but it just made me chuckle that but I applaud her because she wasn't trained. She just learned from her mom, who was amazing at it, and her grandmother just kind of passed it down. So it's a legacy, and just she was strong. I mean, there would be no people talk about Matthew, but there'd be no Destiny's Child without Tina.
I agree. And it was kind of cool just to even hear the backstory on um names and last names, like where Beyonce came from, House of Darion to figure where Darion came from. Like it was so good to hear the backstory on those things. And just shed some light on some things that we've heard of and may not, necessarily know how that happened or whatnot. But yeah, it was good to hear that. Hey Brandy. I know I just sent her a text like jump on. We appreciate you being here.
Hi.
Hey, Bernadette. Wherever you're at, still daylight out there. It's sun's going down where I'm at. Hi. Any other general thoughts, overall thoughts on the book?
I'm not finished, but I'm enjoying it so far.
That was good. Are you doing the audio or are you just reading?
Both. I
Okay.
usually do both.
Yeah, that's me too. I have to every book.
Yeah. I did like the part where her brother called the B
Yeah.
B word. Like they were all sick of her.
I always wanted to know why Kelly was living with them. Where was her mother at? I always wanted to know that, so they answered that question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. To shed light on that and how close they were. I guess, I mean, I'd always heard that they'd grown up, but I just really didn't realize how deep their friendship goes, like how far back it goes and
Yeah.
how much she was with their family when they were younger. So that was pretty cool and why she considers Kelly like a second daughter.
Sister. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sister.
I knew she lived with them for a good while. I remember way back when you remember when they used to have MTV Cribs? They
Yes.
did Beyonce's house and they saw everybody's room, including Kelly's. And I was like, why does she have a room there? Why does she live with those people? Like, where's her mama at?
Remember when people used to try to say that was Matthew's outside child?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Well,
Her
and
kids do favor Beyonce kids to me, but I know she says, she just reconnected with her dad, but them kids favor each other.
Mhm.
well, and then I pointed out I don't know if they corrected it, but the error in the family tree that had Kelly born in 1974. And I was like, this is just going to fuel the controversy that Beyonce is
Yeah.
older than she says she
Older.
is,
Yeah.
and Kelly is the same age.
That's a good question. I'm gonna check because I still have the ebook from the library. I'm gonna check the ebook to see if that's been updated because at the time when I was reading it months ago, it hadn't been updated, but I'm wondering if she got her team on that.
You would need to re-download it, right? for the
Oh,
correction to
that's
come
true. But
through.
you know,
Yeah.
so I sent my loan back and then another one became available. And so I just grabbed it because I was like, maybe I
Oh,
don't have to look through it again. So this version maybe,
the lower one,
yeah.
potentially. Yeah.
Why is it telling me? Oh,
I'm not finished either, but hearing about her childhood, I enjoyed. I did not like how those nuns were treating her though. The hate
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
dress, when
That
they
was
made her,
situation, that pissed
I
me
would
off.
have lost my damn mind if
Yeah.
I had my mom make this dress and you gave it to somebody else
Yes.
and then gaslit me into feeling like I'm a bad person because I don't want to share my dress with this person. I was like, that is crazy.
Yeah, that
I
that
was
made
thinking,
I
I guess
agree
that
with
was
you there.
time, but the whole time I was also thinking Connie and Freddie would have been at that school so quick
Right.
about my dress.
But then I thought about it. I said, but her parents felt like they were, because they were sending them for free because of the work they
Yeah.
were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, we can't look a gift horse in the mouth. We just gotta, kowtow to these people, let them treat my child horrible because they won't go to the school otherwise. And it felt sad that
But
they had to be in that situation.
but she made clothes for them. I forget who exactly she made clothing for at that school, but she stole for somebody there.
She sewed for people. I think her daddy did some maintenance stuff. Like they did
They
a
did
bunch of
everybody
stuff
did something for
around.
them. And she didn't understand why they were in slavery to these mean people.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
So she probably would have been making a dress anyway if they had wanted her to.
So
Oh,
wrong.
I read it a while ago, like Renee. The one thing that I absolutely loved was she was so gracious that she was very open, very transparent, but she never ripped anybody because she
Hmm.
could have ripped Matthew.
Mhm.
She could have said such horrible things about a lot of people. And I felt like she didn't sugarcoat. I felt like she didn't hold back, but at the same time, she was never nasty. And I really liked that about her story. And I just remember finishing it going, I love me some badass teeny B. Like, I like that version of her so much. And, it makes sense for Beyonce to have her alter ego as Sasha Fierce. It's like, with her mom having badass teeny B, it was like, oh, that's where
Yeah.
she gets it from. But I was just so impressed with how gracious she was throughout the whole book.
She couldn't be but so nasty to him because then you would wonder why she stayed there for 10 years. You know?
I can
You could
show
have left
you.
with.
Because I stayed and I talk about his mother, his kids. Oh, I can show you. But I just felt like, sometimes you read a memoir, like I think it was an unpopular opinion, but I like Jaleel White's book. But I
Mm.
felt like you could tell he was like, wait till I tell my side. Oh, I'm going
Yep.
to tell this. And I've read a couple of people's memoirs, even at times with Connie Chung. I felt like, oh, Connie couldn't wait to get that off her chest and drag a couple people. I never felt that at any point through her book. I felt like she was always gracious and decent and never just seemed mean spirited, because sometimes memoirs give you that energy. And I felt like she told her story without bringing anybody down. I think we all think Matthew is trash, but she didn't rate him as trash.
Mhm.
And it's
And
funny though, because she'll
she
be quick to
remembered
check
that she has kids and grandkids.
yeah, but she'll be quick to check somebody on social media though. So I wasn't sure which Tina we were gonna get, you know?
Right. And I think that's probably why I thought she was going to take this chance to be like, oh, I got the mic now. And she didn't come off that way. I just really liked how gracious she seemed throughout the book.
Yeah. And I've noticed like I've paid more attention to her posts since reading this book. I mean, I've always liked her and followed her, but like I'll read the caption and she said, I'm not sure who this video is from or where it came from, but if you're the originator, send me your handle. Like she wants to give people credit for these videos of her daughter that she's posting on there. So I see that in her, even just in her posts now. Like she's always trying to give people credit for the things that they do, and I love that about her. And I will tell you, like on the tour when we met her, she probably complimented every single person that walked up to her in that line. Just makes you feel good. Like you wouldn't think that she's Beyonce's like mom, like the level of stardom their whole family has. She's just a regular person. I mean, she just was real sweet and kind.
You could see how
She seems
gracious she
very full of
was.
love.
How gracious she was when she had that beauty shop. She didn't have a problem with helping her employees get themselves together so they can get their own shops.
Yeah.
She was always empowering people, the young kids, the different philanthropy work that she took on with the children and with yeah, she was just that type of person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it seems very genuine. She just seems like
Mhm.
she just comes from a
Mhm.
place of love.
And she loves
And it kind of
community.
makes Yeah, and it makes sense because you see that in Beyonce too.
I
As
was
famous
just
and
about to
rich as
say
she
that.
is, she always gives back and does for people, and she just seems so sweet and humble in everything that she does. So
Mm.
I love that about their family. And I think that's why, like, one of the reasons for me why I'm such a fan of her outside of the music and stuff, I just appreciate her as a human being and all the things that she does for people.
Mhm.
Now I know we're recording,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna share because it was genuine, but I thought it was misdone, and it was probably because all these fancy Hollywood, New York people advised them on it. But when we had the floods here in Baton Rouge in 2016, Solange and Mama Tina came with Solange's foundation, I guess, and did like not a give, it was like a whole program. And each school was supposed to nominate, I think, 2 kids who had been flooded to come. The kid got one invite and one parent. And they had a little program and all this stuff. And then they were like, okay, we have giveaways for y'all. They gave away Jordans and turkeys because it was right before Thanksgiving. Well, first of all, these people were living in FEMA trailers, so where they gonna cook turkey? Number one.
Oh yeah.
But the Jordans, it went nuts. People would come with a list of like 12 people, like, I need this size, this. I'm like, hey, 2 people came. I worked the event. I'm like, 2 people came. You got a kid and a mama. And you
Right.
got a list of 12 pairs of shoes that you want. And then they were mad when we didn't have the sizes that they want. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to go. Like it got out of control. But I just felt like that was a weird giveaway to have for people, Jordans and turkeys. But it
Yeah.
was still very much out of the kindness of their heart. If Parkwood is watching this video ever, um, yeah. But it just felt not connected to what these people had gone through
Yeah.
and what their current situation was.
Yeah.
Like cooking a 12-pound turkey in a FEMA trailer oven is like impossible.
Right.
So
I'm glad you mentioned Parkwood because that was one of the things from the book where I was like, oh, that's where the name
that's
comes
where the name
from.
came
I
from.
loved hearing different, having those moments like, oh, that's what
Mhm.
that means. And
Yeah.
it's funny when she started talking about Solange's career. A lot of times when I read memoirs, I'll stop and go listen to the song, watch the commercial, or whatever.
Yep.
I remember liking Solo Star then. I tried to listen to that album and I was like, oh, Solange, this was not it. It was terrible. I thought it was going to take me back and be nostalgic. I said, oh, Solange, I can't do it, sis.
That is too funny. Yeah, I think I wanted more of Solange to learn more about her. I mean, we learned a bit, but I just felt like there was more. But I did like hearing about, her pregnancy and things like that and
Mhm.
learning that
I'm
backstory.
sad.
And I
Yeah.
honestly had forgot that she had gotten pregnant so young. Like that was just
Mhm.
I
I was
remembered it.
definitely in
I
a
didn't
rabbit
know.
hole on
I didn't know
Daniel's
Brandon.
Instagram page. He's still fine. I went off through his pictures and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about Solange's baby daddy.
He is still cute. He got a bunch of kids now.
Yes, he aged well.
He did though. He did.
And
Yeah.
before she put this book out, she had her kids read the book to make sure she wasn't so I'm pretty sure if there was something more about Solange, and she probably removed it.
Yeah,
They're like,
that's
this is your
what it seemed
memoir,
like.
not mine.
Mhm.
right.
Because there was one part which I think she was talking about Beyonce and Jay-Z's wedding, and she was like, that's Beyonce's story to tell. And I
Mhm.
really liked that she did that.
Yeah.
I
I
did
also
too.
really liked if with the audiobook that her girls did the intros. I thought that was
Yeah.
so sweet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a nice touch.
Mhm.
That's sweet.
And I just recently realized because of a post that Tina did that Angie Beyonce is on Sisters, that irritating woman in the
In the
salon. I
hair
was like,
salon. Yes. She's Karen's assistant. And I put two and two together and I was like, what? Yeah. And I just
like,
didn't.
oh my God.
Can you repeat
Yeah.
that? Can you?
So on the Tyler Perry show Sisters,
Oh,
um,
okay.
her niece, Angie Beyonce, plays Karen's assistant in the salon, and
Oh,
she's so irritating. She's so irritating.
Okay.
She's good in that role to be irritating. But I
Yes.
was like, oh my gosh, I did not put the two. I guess because I've only like seen her in pictures with
Yeah.
them, never really paid attention to who she was.
Who
But
she
when
was.
she
I didn't know
goes,
there was that
So
connection.
that's her niece,
yeah,
right?
the one
That's her
Yes.
with
yeah,
the
niece.
it's
hair
her niece.
products.
And she was at
Yeah,
our leg of the show
I
too.
was today years old.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was me too. I was like, what? Because I watched that
yeah.
show religiously.
I know. I don't watch that
I
show. So.
watch it every single week that it comes on, and I
Yeah.
did not know that. I
I
completely
I
missed
had to
Yeah.
that.
stop the third season that Karen was still pregnant. I couldn't
Oh
take it
no,
no more.
Oh,
I
Couldn't take
watch
sister.
it and I fuss about that baby, the two babies not being here yet, but I still watch it every week.
Me
I
too.
found
I
that
watched
out just now when you
it.
said it.
Yeah. Look, I'm
You
thinking, I'm like,
know,
did you have babies when that last season ended?
Oh,
speaking of
Babies.
Angie, that one of the things I didn't realize was that her last name is Beyonce. I you know how she explained how because of their lack of resources and
Alex.
everything, that
Yeah.
everybody's Beyonce is spelled differently.
Yeah.
So
mhm.
I've never read it as Beyonce when I've seen Angie's name in print.
Me either.
The
Yeah.
fact that she took, I always read Beyonce. I thought
Me
she took
too.
it and made it cute. That she put a little flourish on it for her
Yeah.
kid, not realizing that there's a bunch of them, but their
They're
last names are
all
just spelled
different.
differently, but it's pronounced the same. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, you think about stuff like that where like we kept all of our documentation in our Bibles and things like that, and people's writing wasn't always clear or their spelling
And
wasn't great.
yeah, they
Like I
couldn't
think I shared
spell.
with you guys, my mom's name came from a comic strip, but my grandmother only had an eighth grade education, and she didn't know that my mom's name is Narda, Narda. It's phonetic, but my grandmother read it as Nidra because that's what she thought it said. So she called my mom Nidra throughout her childhood, and it wasn't until my mom was older that people pointed out that word is Narda. That's what it is. And so, you know, it made me think of that when she was explaining why their last names, the same name, is spelled so many different ways.
Yeah.
They have a lot of that though, especially in Louisiana with the French names. Like you might have an Ozan, people who are Ozans and their cousins, but Ozan is spelled three different ways. Sometimes it's
Wow.
Denne, sometimes it's Auzene. I mean, it's all over, but it just people didn't know how to spell it. And so as they moved through life, they spelled it the way they thought it was supposed to be spelled. But it'll be first cousins with the last name spelled different because they just didn't they didn't know, or the records were bad, or people didn't care to give people the name they were supposed to have.
Yeah, they just took so many liberties because my grandmother's maiden name is Collier, but they say Collier, and it depends on which one of her siblings it is, how they say it and how they spell it. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to see how things like that happen. Like my grandmother had a brother who just when he went to the Navy just decided I don't want that to be my last name anymore, and he just changed his last name to Jackson. And so we have a set of
Wow.
cousins that are Jackson only because he just randomly changed it when he enlisted.
Wow.
And it went like they didn't
Yeah.
push back. And it's like, wow, y'all got away with a lot of stuff. And even like, you know, when I lost my grandmother going through her paperwork, she has two different birth dates
Mine
because we
too.
found out when she moved from Mobile, Alabama to Pittsburgh, chasing after her man, she had to lie about her age to get a job. So she had to bump her age up 2 years to work in the munitions factory. And so her, depending on which documentation you see, there's a 2 year difference in her birth date. And when my aunt took over as power of attorney, she had to unravel all of that to start getting her correct date of birth on stuff. And it's like,
What
it's
a mess.
crazy that you could just do
Yeah.
that with no paper trail back then.
Right.
A lot of too, they have like the white people's name will be one spelling and the black is another, like Sterling, STIR and STER, or Hayes with an E or without an E. but
Yeah.
they descended from those people, but they couldn't spell it the way the white people spell it. They had to spell it different.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful name though.
It
Yeah.
is.
I told y'all I was at a graduation the other day and one of the little girl's name was Beyonce. And I was like, okay, we've gotten to that point now.
People are naming their kids.
I'm always surprised we don't hear it more often.
Oh, it's probably coming. Because this was a
Yeah.
pre-K
Now we
graduation.
will, yeah. Because all the time when I thought that was such a weird name, and I thought it was a made up name. You know, a lot of stars make up their names. You know, when they get to be a star, I thought it was one of those deals.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know, like, when Kanye West first blew up on the scene, I was still teaching then. And I started running into students named Kanye. Or Kobe spelled like the athlete. So I
Yeah.
remember when Beyonce, when Destiny Child got big, I started expecting to hear that name a lot more. But now it just seems so iconic that it's almost like too much of a name
I
to
think it might
carry.
be for
Like
some,
like I
yes.
went to high school with a Michael Jackson. And
Wow.
it's like that's a lot of
I
name
did
to have to
too.
make it through
My
the
cousin's
world
name
with.
is Britney Spears.
Wow.
But
It's just
she's
some
a few years
people, it's like,
older than
no,
Britney.
that's their name. Could you
Mhm.
imagine meeting a Barack, like and a Barack Obama? Like, it's just a lot of names to have to carry,
Mhm.
as a little person. It's like, I couldn't imagine looking at a little baby and calling him Beyonce.
So old
A
and
lot of Devontaes running around now.
Yes, there are lots of Devontaes.
or like Jalen, they say that Jalen Rose is the original Jalen, but he's actually not. But the original Jalen was born 3 months before them. But I was looking it up again recently because I read his book and he talks about he's the first person with that name and it's something his mom made up. But they call it the Jalen effect. Like in the league right now, there's like 27 Jalens,
Yep.
Wow.
and they're all basically off of Jalen Rose.
Wow.
And
Have a
isn't the
Jalen.
joke also that they all have the white mama? They all are mixed.
A lot of them do.
My youngest is
Yeah.
Jalen. I think we did go with the Jalen Rose.
Yes,
yeah.
because that's what he claims that he's the first documented Jalen. But I guess because he kept making that claim, somebody found that there's a Jalen that is 3 months older than him. That is the first documented Jalen.
Wow.
Hmm.
Khloe Kardashian stole my son's name, Tatum.
I
And
I
it's
had an
funny
uncle
though
named
because
Tatum,
my
though.
what'd you say?
I had an uncle named Tatum.
Really? Because well, and my mom like tried to fight me on that name when they were or before they were born, and I had it because when in her generation when they think of Tatum, they think of like Tatum O'Neal, like they
Oh,
oh
Mhm.
yeah.
a woman's name. So she was like trying to fight me on naming a boy that, and I'm like, nah, he's good, like he's Tatum. And I do still get that question, like if I'm giving both the twins names, sometimes they'll think he's a girl or whatever, but. Yeah, I was like, I'm not changing his name. But then when Chloe finally did it, I'm like, okay, good. Now it's on a bigger scale. Like people will see Tatum as a boy's name and
Yeah, I
leave him
used to
alone.
always have to go look at your pictures if I was ever writing their names because I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know if I'm getting the gender right. And I thought
Yep.
I was swapping their names.
I used to think that too.
You're
I used
not
to
the
think I
first.
was swapping Tatum and Tinley.
Yep. Sometimes, well, most times we just call him Tate. It's too funny. Yeah,
So
she
where
tried to
did
fight.
Tinley come from?
We were just looking. So Tatum, we'll start with Tatum. I had his name first. Tatum, it was always Tatum Gray. I was a huge fan of Channing Tatum at the time, so that's kind of where I like fell in love with Tatum. And so when we found out that we were having twins, we needed a T girl. I wanted them to start with the same letter. So my mom just like started Googling different T names and Tenley was there and it just was like, yeah, that sounds good. And so she's Tenley Noel and he's Tatum Gray.
Like
So
That's cute.
TNT.
yep. So we call him TNT Dynamite. Yeah. I got some back and I still get questions about that. Like Tatum and is it a she? I'm like, no, it's a boy. Or I'll just say it like my son Tatum or something because I know that question's coming. But I'm like, I'm hoping now that Chloe did it, it'll become a little more regular, I guess, for a boy's name.
I had no idea that she had a kid named Tatum.
Mm-hmm. Her son. What's the
I
other one?
mean, I only know True.
Yeah, Drew, and then the boy's name is Tatum.
Yeah, I don't know what I thought his name was.
Did you
As
think
soon
it
as
was
I saw it, I was like,
Tristan?
Yeah,
yeah,
like just that little boy.
Drew and Tatum Thompson.
I didn't even know she had no son.
Yeah,
Oh
Oh
well.
yeah,
probably
she
like
went back and had a baby with that fool.
that was like the last
Ah,
time they broke up. I think she was pregnant when he got the other girl pregnant or something along those
That
lines.
baby, the son they had with a surrogate, if I'm not mistaken.
I
And that's
think so.
That's
yeah.
when the scandal broke out with because she was
ah.
already like the surrogate. They already had
Mhm.
were pregnant with him, so it was too late to like turn back, and she just felt like a fool because they had just gone through that process of getting pregnant and all that, and it was like boom, now this mistress exists. But yeah, he's probably 3 4 3 maybe.
Settle, yeah.
I was about to say maybe it's better she had it with him instead of that other one, but maybe not.
Girl, no, it is.
Lamar is a damn fool.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all watch the Kardashians, but he was on the most recent season. Like it was the first time she had seen him in since he was in that hospital.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yes, he was still like
Still
acting like
love you.
yeah, it was still kind of like hey baby or just like calling her pet names and stuff like that. And
Why was he on there? For
um,
what?
he had some of his things that I guess were in storage, like just important things like championship rings or some medals or something that she wanted to give back to him. But I really don't know the reason why he was on TV to do that.
Ratings.
Because Lamar
But
is an
she had to
attention
basically,
whore.
what'd you say?
Lamar is an attention whore. There's no
Yeah, he
limit to
is.
what that
And it
man will do for some attention. He
and it
probably
was
begs
very
to be
like
on
it was
Well, the
very creepy.
Kardashians are all queens at that.
Yeah.
All of them. I was watching an old Barbara Walters, where she was, where they're gonna do a special on Barbara Walters on Hulu or somewhere, talking about all the people she's interviewed, and they highlighted one little scene where she was interviewing the Kardashians. She said, "You all don't really have it. You're not known for anything. Y'all don't really have any real talent." And I was like, "Well, damn."
It's the truth. I mean, they didn't get famous for
Yeah.
him, that's for sure. I mean,
But
they've
calling him an
definitely
attention whore, he was with a bunch of attention whores. Look
yeah.
at me. I can't do anything, but look at me.
It was sad though that episode because they kind of replayed like just how close the family was and how they accepted him as like a son and brother and just like how crushed everybody was with their breakup. And I mean I used to watch the Kardashians back then. They were very close, but those drugs, man.
Yeah, I used to watch back then. I hated when she would call him Lammy. I'm like, that is
Yeah.
such a terrible nickname.
Lamb lamb.
Yeah, she'd be like, Lammy. I'm like, that
Yeah, right.
man is a ginormous grown
Grown ass
man.
almost
And you're
seven
like,
foot man
Lammy.
calling lamb lamb. Yeah, that show is a hot mess. I don't even know why it exists anymore. Like half of them don't even be on that show.
Right.
Courtney be in her own world. Anyways, enough about the Kardashians. Back to family.
Back to a family with talent.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like real
Right.
talent. I'm excited to go to the concert too. I'm like, it's one of the highlights, will be one of the highlights of my summer.
Yeah. I just so happen to have the
Oh, cute.
That's
I
cute.
wanted that
it was in
bookish
a
t-shirt.
pile of clothes to be folded. I said, "Oh, let me put this on."
What's inside of the mouth? What's inside of the teeth?
It's
Horse.
a horse.
A grill looks like.
Oh, okay. Someone had a bookish t-shirt like that. The Speak Fluent, whatever. Did y'all see that? The Speak Fluent something and it had a grill.
I saw
Oh
it on
yeah, it's like
Threads today.
urban
Yeah.
books and
I tried
something else she had. It's a Speak Fluent urban books on one side, and I
yes.
forget what the other one.
I tried to buy it on Monday and the thing is sold out. I'm like, I want that shirt so bad.
Who was selling it?
I can send you the link, although I saved it just in case it ever comes, back in stock. Uh oh shit. Sorry. It's there now. It's available.
Yeah, get yours and
Oh
then
no, it's my
tell
size that's sold out. Never mind.
me.
Yeah, I'll send it to y'all though, but it's like I speak Erica, you had laid it out. Yeah, I speak fluent urban fiction, and then it has black romance. I don't know. I know y'all are not gonna be able to. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see my phone, but um, these are
And
dope
people
shirts.
are so mean. You see how they're bothering Rumi online?
Yeah.
They're so mean.
Yeah.
Of the
Bothering a
show.
child.
Yeah.
But most of it
I
I
think it's
see is
more
Rumi is
the
love
Tina.
for Rumi.
Rumi is Tina.
Yeah.
There's a lot of posts where people are saying mean things like they can see that there's something wrong with her. But the good thing about it is when they put that in the post, a lot of people will clap back at them, will jump
Oh
in right
yeah.
away and say something to them. I'm like, certain things you don't say about kids. And who doesn't have somewhere in their family a child that's on the spectrum somewhere?
And
I know
guess
I
what?
do.
She got all the money in the world to get the best care and attention she needs.
Mm-hmm.
If she does have something wrong with her. So,
Yeah.
and it's not wrong with her. It's something
No. She's
maybe
just different, and it's okay to be different.
It's okay to be different, but
Wow.
she's on that stage and you're not.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's exactly who I want to see. She's the reason I bought tickets. I was like, oh, I gotta see her.
Rumi.
Yes, I'm more excited about her than
Rumi
anybody.
is getting her life every night
Yeah.
on this stage. That poor woman who has to keep her back
That's
there
what I was just
stiff.
gonna mention her. Yeah, I keep grabbing on her. The mothers keep saying that she wants them to let her go one night. Just let her go. Let her do her thing. Let her do
I
what
hope
she
it's
wanted to do.
Atlanta. I
That
hope
would
she gets down
be
here and cuts up.
hilarious if they let that baby just loose and let her do her thing. Yeah,
I
she gonna
think she
cut a
would
fool.
dance with them. I think she would just do the steps they're
Yeah,
doing.
she knows all the
She does.
choreography.
She'll be
She
sitting
knows
there
the
like waving
song. She knows the
her
whole
hands.
song. She knows the
When
Yeah,
whole
she had like a
she
little
song.
scarf.
sings,
Yeah.
she sings that dangerously in love, and
Basically,
she is just to
right.
the audience.
To
I'm
look at
like,
Beyonce,
she
she'll be like,
ready.
with you. I love
She
it.
ready.
I
Yeah.
dropped that shirt and that link in the chat for y'all, so you can see what we talking
Because
about.
that's what I need. Another T-shirt. That's what I need.
I bought the Tia one that has Eva, Shane, Audrey, and Bash on it.
I want
I'm gonna get that.
sweatshirt. I want the one with everybody, with Ricky and but it's only in a sweatshirt. They don't have it in a t-shirt.
Yeah, it is only in a sweatshirt. The t-shirt was only $20 and there was no shipping, so I was like,
I bought a t-shirt at the Black Romance Book Festival. It said, buy me books and tell me I'm pretty.
Oh, that's cute.
I need
And
that.
pretty and
Like
book
that.
and purple. And so I was like, oh, is it my favorite
That's
color?
my color.
I
Yeah.
gotta get it. I might wear that.
Definitely want some more bookish shirts. Papa Ruffin.
Listen, I can't even get a sticker. She over here asking for shirts.
Listen, somebody today, like a couple of hours ago, again on my post, oh, by the way, I like that shirt. Where'd you get it from? On TikTok. Where'd you get it from? I'm like, bro, these people are hitting me left and right.
Those shirts were a hit.
They were. We had at least 10 or more people stop us on.
Oh, probably more. People were taking pictures of me. Can I get a picture of it?
Every time I posted in the video and I have it on, they're like, oh, where'd you get that shirt? You know, I'm like, is it for sale? I'm like, no, it's not right now.
Asia, tell your dad to be a vendor next year. He would rack up.
I did mention it to him. They already opened up a bunch of their applications, and I saw that they're about to go ahead and close.
They said they have 500 author applications.
Now,
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
I saw that they were saying that they submitted. I was like, nah, why are you wasting your time?
Someone told them they should do Georgia World Congress. I think that they need a bigger spot like that. Let more people in.
So y'all are going next year?
Heck yeah.
I'm hoping as a influencer and moderator again.
I'm gonna try to go. But they definitely said it was gonna be a bigger venue next time. They haven't said where.
The thing is, though, if you add more people,
where.
Oh, they said where now?
Omni, isn't it? Omni Hotel.
Oh, is that big? That don't seem big enough.
Well, yeah, that's what I think. I don't think that's why I was like, they need to do like World Congress Center or something that's much bigger and it's closer to the airport. But the thing is Kennedy's line was already, y'all. She had a 2-hour window. That thing was wrapped from the beginning all the way to the other side of the hotel, and it took people. They had to move Kennedy to another floor, I think, on Saturday because she was exceeding her 2-hour time slot. I know she was signing for at least 3.5 hours, maybe more.
I don't know how she does it because she always just seems like so happy and energetic. And my social battery would have died.
Yeah, talks to every person, gives them a hug, then signs their book. I'm just like, bro. But I also see why her signature looks the way that it does, because my hand would be flipping tired too. It's just like
They need to
literally.
talk
They
to
are.
Dawn's people, Dawn Staley's people, because the way they got us through that line to take pictures, all the books were pre-signed, which I mean, you got her signature.
Yeah.
But then we took pictures with her, and she took 1,000 pictures, and it went.
That was the
Now we
problem with
couldn't use our own phone to take the
Yeah,
picture. They
neither
had a
could we.
photographer, and
With
then they give you
Tina,
a QR code to go get your
yep,
picture.
that was the same with Tina. We couldn't bring phones, we couldn't have nothing. So I was like, all this
We
footage
could
that I had in my phone.
inside when she was interviewing and all that, we could
yeah.
then, but for our individual picture, they had a photographer, and then as you walk off, they hand you a QR code, and that's where you go to get your picture.
That was the problem with this festival is they didn't limit the books.
Yeah.
You had people with literally 50
Carts.
books leaving out of there, carts, wagons, and 12 books for one author. Like,
Yeah.
you can pre-sign books when you're going to get that one book, but they were letting these people just bring books. And I'm like, that's got to change. I didn't get a book signed because I was not standing in those lines.
Yeah, I'm glad all of us were on the same page with that. Like, we didn't care about autographs for the most part. It was like, we're not standing in no line for 2 hours. I mean,
I flew and I
oh, me
brought
too. My whole
with me,
car
but
was
I was
filled.
like, oh no,
Yeah.
I'm not doing
I
that.
had like 15 books in my car, but I just never, the only one I brought out was Beverly Jenkins, just because that one to me was the only one I really cared about. Tia, I knew I could probably get her after my keynote, so I did get her to sign that, but that's the only book I walked away with was Tia. And then Kennedy I got Friday anyways.
Yeah. I got a few signed, but like Tia, I said her next book tour, I'll just because we know
Yeah.
she's releasing another book. I'll get them signed then. And then Christina, her line was kind of long too, and I'm doing this.
Yeah, I would have liked to have gotten Christina. I should have like cornered them when I was because I took pictures with her, Taj, all of those people I had in the corner, and even the ones on my panel. I could have gotten Taj and Bella J. Could have got her too, probably.
Yeah.
But I the only and Farrah would have been the other person that I really would have cared to have gotten. Other than that, her, Tia, and Kennedy. But
But they gave us a nice little board, and I forgot to even bring the board. Like, you could just get people to sign the
I
board.
saw people with those.
And I should have done that because I took pictures with so many people. I could have been like, here, sign my board.
yeah,
Or like when we met Vanessa Riley, she pulled out her own book plates and signed them.
yeah.
Like, we weren't in her line or anything to sign. She was just like, oh, here, let me give you a book plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Rhonda
might just have to
is
do book
really
plates moving forward. Like, I need 12 book plates. I don't know, something that just the books and the carts were just so much. It was so much.
Renee posting that meme talking about this what y'all look like.
Because they did. I can't like we couldn't walk the first like half of Saturday. You could not walk. It was so bad that we were literally like felt like a roller coaster line where you're just taking one step, even to get out of the rooms
Yeah.
from the sessions because it was so crowded in the hallway. Nobody could even get out of the rooms.
And they
So
were blocking the doors to the rooms. Like, you couldn't even get in.
yeah, it was all bad.
I was like, this is a fire hazard, because if something had broke out in one of those rooms and you trying to open the door to get out, and it's
Yeah.
a line of people blocking the door, it was crazy.
Who was it that we were trying to go see? Was it JL Seegers when we were trying to walk to the front and people were like, are y'all about to go in that room? And they were like, oh, this the line for that. And we were like, F that. We going to find something else. It was when we were going to Phoenix, but I can't remember who was in
Yeah,
that.
I think it was. And I was able to walk right the second day. I was able to get right in JL's line and stood there
Yeah.
maybe for less than 5 minutes.
It was fun. I definitely, if y'all are interested, August, get those tickets because that was so much fun.
Is it gonna be like Beyonce tickets?
Yes.
Probably.
It was last year.
Yes, it
I ain't
was
even gonna lie
last
to
year.
you. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like it probably is.
Yep, probably.
It's gonna be the Hunger Games of
It
trying to.
sold out, was it 5 minutes that it sold out?
It sold
I
out
think
really
it
quickly.
sold out initially in like 5, and then they were still releasing tickets like throughout a 30-minute window, and then it was like this is done. And maybe a few days or weeks later, every like few weeks they would drop another set. They were like, okay, we'll drop a few more. But they said they're not doing that this year. For next year. It's going to be one drop allegedly, and that's it.
You know what? I need to figure out because my biggest dilemma was, are you going to invite me back as a content creator or do I need to buy a ticket? Because I need to know one way or another. But I think last year I either found out in June or July of last year before. So I'm hoping they do that again and solidify that before tickets go on sale. Because I'm like, I need to know something. And I don't
Yeah.
want to be like, hey, y'all inviting me back again? Like,
If not, girl, you
Give
know
the
they're
dates
tickets
yet?
sale. So
and the thing is I thought, like, I saw all these content creators coming, and I just assumed that they were moderating panels. No, it was like 7 of us that moderated panels, and everybody else was just there as a content creator. So there definitely was levels to stuff, but I was actually shocked when I only saw like 7 people moderating panels. And some of those girls, I didn't even know like who they were. Like, did y'all see the girls in the cowboy outfits walking around?
mm-mm.
They sat next to me at the content creators thing, but they have a podcast, but I'd never heard of them before seeing them
You
that
don't
week.
remember their name?
They know, but they were at, let me see if I can find them because I am following them. Give me a second because I did follow them. And they were at the tea party I went to. They went there too because they actually stayed in my hotel. As I was checking in, they were like driving by in the car and like, hey. Um, I'll see if I can find their names because a lot of people were taking pictures with them and they both had on like cowboy hats and one had short. Like they looked like they were ready to go to the Cowboy Carter tour, but I had
Were
no.
they from Texas, I wonder?
Good question. Let me see if it'll show me. Of course, it's not going to show me people I recently followed. But they're best friends. That's all I can tell you about that. And
They have a podcast.
hmm, but I'm wondering like how Black Romance Fest even saw them because like their account wasn't heavy with followers when I looked at it or when I followed them. It was kind of like Brit in her books. Like she has thousands. She may even have a million followers at this point, but
Good night, Bernadette. Oh,
I
she
know.
gone.
It's just like
Hey, she gone
she's
already.
gone already. Yeah. Um yeah, I was just wondering how they picked their people. And then Lauren, she did
Dates
a
for next
fabulous
year?
job of posting it. What'd you say?
Did they give you dates for next year yet?
Oh, the dates are out.
I don't, are they?
Oh,
I
are
was
they?
like, I don't,
It's the same weekend. For this, it's the same
It's
weekend.
the same. The last weekend
after
of
Memorial
It's
Day
like
or whatever.
May 31st or June 2nd this time, I think, though. Maybe
Okay.
They say when tickets go on sale?
August.
August
August. This
something.
August. That's all
This
they gave us.
year. Okay.
We'll let y'all know when
Which
it's
is
in.
later
Okay.
because it was
Thank
June
you.
last year. So it's because I bought my ticket on June 21st.
Okay.
Put that on my birthday list.
Because I got mine through the DMs in August.
Yes, I'm sorry, it's May 29th through, is that right?
Next year.
May 30th through something like that.
I'm trying to find it.
It's just funny. I'm wondering if this is gonna coincide with the governor's valedictorian reception.
They're gonna have
Everybody was
convention
posting it out.
prices next year.
What'd you say, speaker?
They're gonna have sorority convention prices next year.
Oh, right. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, oh, they're gonna go up.
How much was it this year?
I paid $205 for the all access.
and I paid
Oh, okay.
35 for the 2-day.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna
If
be crazy
if
2000.
if you can do it, I would probably say go with all access because you
Yeah.
can't get like my keynote, you couldn't get into that without the all access pass.
Yep.
And we didn't know that until like what, a few days prior. Someone had
Asia
posted
said
it.
she knew. I didn't
I
know.
knew.
Someone had posted it on Threads and I was like, "What you mean you can't get in keynotes with that?" And she said something and I was like, "Are you serious?" And she was like, "Yeah, you can't get in." And then somebody I think in our group looked it up and was like, "Yeah, sure enough." And I was
It's
like,
May 29th through 31st next year.
Okay. Thanks.
I knew, and I wasn't that pressed because I feel like so somebody said that we didn't know any of the authors when we bought tickets. I feel like we knew some, maybe, and I just wasn't pressed because maybe they had announced Kennedy and I had just seen Kennedy, right?
yeah,
So it was
yeah.
like, oh no, I don't have to, pay an additional $75 basically to be able to see her when I just seen her or knew that she would do her own, book tours for upcoming releases. So, but knowing that
Thank
they'll probably have a different batch, I'll do it next year.
But they did say there was a decades dance. I saw somebody say there's gonna be a rep your city or rep your area.
Ooh,
Oh, that was a
I'm
suggestion.
getting a grill.
Was that a suggestion? Okay.
Suggestion.
That is a
Renee, I want a grill for Beyonce.
Oh, that would be dope.
I
I
want
know.
a grill,
The girls
period.
are so cute
Yeah.
nowadays. I was like,
They are.
All my friends are like, no. I'm like, I
Mm.
want a grill.
I want. And it doesn't have to be
Girl,
anything
just
serious.
do
Just
it.
the ones that kind of slightly outline the teeth, like with
Mhm.
just a little gold. Like it's cute. Like Chelsea Jackson Roberts. She has the best grills.
Yeah.
She's a Peloton instructor, but if you ever go to her page, she's got the cutest grill.
I'll have to check her out because I want something like simple, but you notice it, right? But it's not doing too much.
I'm gonna find it. Uh-oh, Erica, would you rate Audrey and Bash? I just seen it pop up. Okay. You gave it 4 peaches.
I liked it.
Mhm.
I didn't love it like I thought I would, but I really liked it.
It was cute, yeah, for a YA. I liked it.
Yeah. I didn't
Was
like
Tia's
Audrey.
lines long?
Who? Yeah.
Tia's. Was her lines long?
Yeah, there's a video that she posted and it was going out the door as well, but I feel like most lines were probably going out the door, but she had a good uh bit of people from what I
I had
saw.
that timing. Like I feel like Tia's line that there was probably a point where you could have joined it and
Yep.
gotten through relatively quickly,
Yep.
all things considered. But I was probably in a panel and just did not, leave to go get in line. But if you wanted to, like, say they were opening the lines from 2 to 4, if you were in that line at 2 o'clock for somebody like Tia or Kennedy, and you weren't in the very front, it was a mess.
Didn't get it. Mm.
I'm still laughing at that lady that went to the Friday night event with us and was like, "I've been here since 3:45 and I'm gonna get in line for my pictures." Literally, she was sitting in the middle. She literally got there at 3:45. She was sitting in the same place that we were, just in the middle versus the side. We were second row back. And
And we
then
got there what 5:30, little bit before
yeah, you
5:30.
got there at 5:30. I think I got there 10 minutes after you did. So, and we still got in there.
Yep.
Just about the same. And so like there's a line. We were sitting kind of close to the stage, like near the stairs, and that's where the line had started to form to go on the stage. And then it was a high school, so you can imagine what a high school auditorium with the stairs on the side. And so like we pretty much just got right in line right where we were. And she came all the way from the center and came across and like hopped us in line. Like we were probably 10, 15 people back and she hopped us and she's like, "I've been here since 3:45." I'm like, "What that mean? You were in line to get your seat. This don't mean like
Right.
you just let it slide." But then she got in line and then she added this friend. Then she added her other friends, the one with the dog that was all up in my clear bag. Let me tell y'all.
They
So I
said,
had
I
that,
think it
y'all.
was Tia, the girl with the dog. She came from Connecticut.
Oh,
And she asked Bunny, who's the owner of Brave and Kind, that's Kim's friend. She asked her at some point, she gave her 3 books from Tia to get signed. And I don't even know how that happened because they literally said in the email, nobody's getting book signed. Like you either pre-order and get it that way, or they're not doing those signings, they're just taking pictures. And so I'm standing there waiting to get our picture. Brandy's in front of me. And then she's another book club member. She was in front of us. And so I'm sitting there with my clear purse, and she's like on the bottom of the stage looking at me. She's like, hey, she's like, can I borrow your marker? And I had like, I'm like looking at her like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, your Sharpie pen. And I was like, you're all up in my clear bag, looking inside that you can see that I threw a Sharpie in there last minute that I even had just forgot about. But like, how long have you been standing there scoping out my clear bag to know that? And I mean, the Sharpie was wedged, and you saw how I had the books on both sides. So it was literally like wedged in the side, how you saw that. And so she asked for my pen. And I was nice enough. I was like, yeah, but I'm about to take my picture. So if you don't get your shit done. And so luckily, Tia was kind of signing them in between. And when I got my picture, she had one more to sign. And I told Bunny, I said, that's my marker. So as soon as she's done signing that last one, I'm out. And I'm like, the audacity. There's people bringing books and you're not supposed to. I don't even know what that was about, but it was like a big deal. Tia signed 3 books for her. And
I think once she told them that she came all the way from Connecticut, they wasn't gonna turn her down.
But I'm like, you buy a book. If you want one signed, like it's not like Tia personalized. She literally just signed her name like everybody else. So to me, it's like if you wanted her autograph so bad, buy 3 of her books. You know, I had a ton of their books that they could have signed, but I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I would pay shipping for a pre-signed book. If they said you can get a pre-signed book and we'll ship it to your house, I'll pay shipping because I don't want to carry the books around.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what for some authors have decided to do instead of, waiting in lines for book signings like this. Just regularly, or do a regular order from them. They will typically sign those books when you do a regular direct order.
And that
And I
might be
will.
what they need to do is let you pre-order, pre-sign, you pick up your book and you take a picture. Because that'll move a lot faster. You can order 12 books that they pre-sign before you get there. You pick them up when you get there. But holding up that line to make somebody sign 12 books is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
like the books that I pre-ordered from Shay Sanders and Rousey, they were already signed.
Oh wow.
Mhm. That makes sense.
And packaged up, like they were in their bags already. They both had put like little thank you notes in there for, making a purchase.
Oh, sweet.
So that it was quick.
Yeah, I love that they had shipping on hand for all those people to be able to ship their books home. I thought that was a
And
genius
cheap.
idea. It
Yeah.
was only like what, 20, 25 bucks for them to ship a box home. That was amazing.
Oh, that is good.
I'm looking at Peloton Studios, signing up for a class. The Lulu members thing just came out for Juneteenth weekend, and I'm like, do I want to take a row with Adrian? Anyways, what else y'all got going on? What is everybody reading right now?
Tina.
I'm bouncing all over the place because, I have zero focus. And we went to this festival and now I really have zero focus.
No focus.
Too many books to read now.
Yeah.
I have a road trip tomorrow and Friday, so I've been trying to find something good. I think the filling station just became available today. I was like, well, I'll start listening to that while I'm driving. It's 10 hours in 2 days.
You'll like it. It was good.
And I love Vanessa Miller now. Like
Oh my God.
she's one of my favorites. She was so funny.
He's cool. Yeah.
Well, if you like Vanessa Miller and you like Christian fiction, some of her early works were Christian fiction, and they were amazing. I
Okay.
forget the names. I'll try to think of it and type it in here, but that's when I first started reading her, when she was writing more in the Christian fiction space. And she has a series. I'm looking on my bookshelf to see if it's up here. But like one is called Forgiven, one is called something else and something else. I can't remember.
Okay.
But they're very good too, if you like her. Yeah.
Fun fact, Rhonda McKnight is her editor.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
That tracks. I love her, and she's right here in South Carolina and always somewhere, and I have not been able to see her yet.
She was real cool, and I had made mention, just like one of my comments in their panel was the fact that they write about the Low Country. I thought that was so cool. And I was like, I'm College of Charleston alumni, so y'all talking about the history and stuff. I was like, that just hits home. And I can't even think of or pronounce the other
Preslasia.
Malaysia. She
Yeah.
actually, when I said that, and I was like, yeah, I recognize that church in Charleston. Like, I know where that is. And so I was like, yeah, I'm CFC alumni. And she's like, me too. When'd you graduate? I was like, '06. She's like, I got my master's in '05. I was like, wild that we were in school at the same time. Like, so it's just cool to learn so much about these authors and their personalities. And I think even like just going to panels and finding authors that I'd never heard about or just weren't on my radar at all. Like I purchased books on spot just based on some of the panels I went to, and this author was like, oh yeah, this is happening in my book and she's doing this. And I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm purchasing that right now. So that was cool because I'm like, there's so many authors that get the same attention and popularity, and there's so many like indie authors and just other romance authors that need that love and shit. So it was cool to like learn um
I
about
love
it.
all the attention that I'm an indie author girl, so I love that they are getting any kind of attention. Did you know, Renee, did you know that Taj is a
I did
literary
not
agent?
I did not know that.
So when I went to the Conyers Book Festival and she was on that panel,
Mm.
she's the agent for everybody that was on the panel with her. So
I
Tasha Bishop, Carmen Lee, Asia Monique, I think.
okay.
Oh.
Yep, it
Right.
was Asia.
Yep, Asia Monique. And was it one more person, Brandy?
We missed JL. Was it JL Seegers? Did you
Yeah,
say her?
I think it was
It's
Jay.
there.
Yeah,
And you know
yeah.
what? That tracks because a lot of the stuff that Taj has been posting, like I think the reel that she posted today, they're all in the background of her video or they're all eating together. And I was like, that makes so much sense now that you said that. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
I didn't know that until that event. I was like, oh, and they were all like talking about how she goes hard for them, how she gets them, really good deals. I know that was it JL who just signed?
Yep.
Yep, yeah, she just signed with the trad.
Additional. Yep.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. That's dope. Taj
Yeah.
is real sweet. She's one of those that like I could see myself hanging out with in real life, like because she's just that humble and sweet. Like she was cool. There's a
I
lot
was
of them that are cool.
I was
They don't
trying to
see
go
themselves.
find that book. I bought her book, the one that Eric had been recommending, because it's that old school mini, like
Yes.
mass market paperback that we used to get. Like
Oh,
the
you talking about
rarely.
Tati?
Yes, it was Tati's book. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah.
Tati's book. Okay, look, I
Mhm.
don't even know whose book it was. Never mind, it wasn't Taj, it was Tati.
Tati with the wigs.
Oh,
Tati with them dang on
Yeah,
wigs.
but it was
I
such a
didn't
cute. It was
enjoy
it's a
Tasha's books
throwback.
as much.
They talking about her husband. What was they called him Gideon, or I don't know if
Because
that's his
he
real
looks
name.
just like, because I had to go look it up. Like, why are y'all talking about this lady's husband? And so I scrolled down on her page and saw a picture of him, and I'm like, oh, it's because he's like bald with glasses, just like the character on her latest book. What is it? Losing
Losing
Sight?
sight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they were saying that.
I was so confused. Okay. I need to read one of her books. I haven't read one of her books. I follow her though.
Yeah, same. Same. What else was I
Read
gonna say?
the series about
You
the
finished? Did you read
polyamorous the oath, the something and the
it?
so
Well,
I
did you
don't know.
read it?
Oh yeah, I've read the oath and the second one. I haven't read the third one yet.
Oh, those are her books?
I
Okay.
haven't read it yet.
I have it on my list, but I haven't read it yet.
Oh, I have those on Hoopla because somebody posted like, "Oh, these had me clutching my pearls." And oh, when I saw
Girl.
Hoopla had it, I can't think of the girl's name, but she was in Renee's pictures from when Tina was here. She's Caribbean and she jogs. I can't think of her. I think her screen name, her Insta is like "Reading is a Vibe." She was recommending
She
those.
jogs.
Yeah, she was in the pictures with you at the event, and she does a lot of Caribbean books.
Oh, you're talking about
She looks
Nia.
really good for
Yes,
her age. Yeah, she's like in her 50s and
Nia.
she runs.
She
Yeah,
also does
she
the
posted about that series, and she doesn't normally talk like that. So when she said, I was like, let me go see what these books are about. But I don't know. I
Brandy.
feel like it's going to be too much for me, and I haven't listened to them.
She's in that ATL Bookstagrammers group. She's the one who just posted about them pole classes. She teaches like
Oh,
she teaches
she's
like pole, so
good.
that's who Erica's talking about right now. Yeah.
Okay.
I really like her.
Yeah, Nia's cool, like super cool. So yeah, again, all of these people will be at that picnic come
What,
next
next Saturday?
the 14th. So that'll be fun. Um I had got with Chandra for those that are attending. She gave the okay. I'm gonna do Bookstagrammer headshots while we're there. Make some quick money. But yeah, I was like, I feel like everybody could use some updated headshots and stuff like that. So whoever wants them, I'll do them on spot. Yeah,
Where is this park? The Beltline?
I think that's when I heard, because I didn't see an address, but when I heard them talking about scouting, I think it is the Beltline.
What
Okay.
park was it again?
I
This
don't.
was
It says
the
the
address
Beltline, but they
once you
didn't say.
RSVP. When I
Say
did the
that again?
RSVP when we were out Sunday, it
Yeah.
gives you the address and once you RSVP.
Okay. I need to go back and look at
But it
my.
wasn't anything I was familiar with, even
Yeah,
though
I don't
I'm an
think it was
East
like a
Side
park
girl.
name. I think it's just the Beltline. Like there's a grassy area or something out there.
Did
Oh,
they
I
text
see it. There's an address. It's this, if I'm not mistaken, is by hold on.
Historic Fourth Ward Park.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
kind of close to Ponce, kind of.
Yeah, it has an address. It's 695 Morgan Street.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking it up now.
You can potentially park at Ponce.
Shit, I'm thinking about pictures. I'm like, pictures at Ponce would be freaking dope.
Yeah. But would it be packed though on a Saturday?
But I think this
I
is a
don't
park.
know. I just need the outside. No, I'm not going in there, but I just need the outside, like for aesthetics, like the walls and stuff like that. Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with wherever. Like I said, this isn't meant to be like a whole photo shoot. It's literally gonna be 5 minutes of each person and cranking out 4
We
shots.
carpooling?
We can. And what was the other event we were supposed to carpool to? Was it say Cosby that I'm gonna be in New York for?
Maybe.
No,
Or
it was
was it Tiffany?
no,
Maybe.
it was it Tiff. No, it's next
Oh
week.
no,
Tiffany, I'm
no.
doing.
It's the one with Katie Mitchell. It was that one.
Tuesday. I mean, whatever's next week.
Yeah, the one with Katie Mitchell and Daniel Black. I think that's the one we said we were carpool.
Yeah, and then I said I'm up in the air because Tinley got voted
Yeah.
be a last minute.
And then S.A. Crosby, you said you're in New York.
I don't know why that didn't click in my head, and I maybe because I didn't put New York on my calendar, so now it's there. I'm like, how did I miss that was? And when somebody put it as plainly as, "Oh yeah, what are y'all doing Juneteenth weekend? Are you going to see?" And I was like, "That's that weekend," and so it clicked to me that yeah, I'm not home because I don't even think my flight leaves until like 4 or 5 on Saturday evening. There's no way.
Oh yeah, I'd be doing too much.
Jess, who you're going to see soon?
Tuesday night is Andre Perry in New Orleans. He has a new book called something. And wait, his new book is called Black Power Scorecard, Measuring the Racial Gap and What We Can Do to Close. Y'all know I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
I met
Thursday,
him.
you did. I think
He
I feel like I
he
remember
was
saying
at that Black Philanthropy conference I went to, and they gave us all books before they came out. So I have the book. I haven't read it yet, but he was a great speaker.
I'm going to see, and then because I start going in the office next week with the interns, and then Thursday I'm torn. But I went and looked. I was like, okay, somebody didn't like Lakewood. Is that the name of it? Megan Giddings is
Oh yeah.
Thursday night, but also the author of The Accident of Color, which I haven't read, but I've been wanting to read it. he's gonna be at the River Road African American Museum in Donaldson. So I was like, I don't know which one. I think S.A. Cosby's coming to Baldwin. It's a whole Carol Mosley Braun is gonna be there on July 1st. It's a bunch coming up that I gotta figure out. But it works since I'll be going out of the office anyway. I'm like, well, I just stay down.
I don't know if y'all watch all sports, but women's college World Series is coming on. I don't know if you've seen me talk about Najee Kennedy. That right there
Is
is a
that
black
the one with the $1 million NIL?
$1 million NIL deal, first of its kind, and she signed to Texas Tech with that deal, back in August, and she just brought her team to the World Series championship. So the game's just now starting. I think it's a best out of three, but Texas is gonna take it home. Texas versus Texas Tech. So I'm okay as long as like Oklahoma and the UCLA, they win this shit every year. So I'm just happy that's not any of them. But yeah, she's beasting as a pitcher. It's fun to watch. But yeah, that game just started.
I want to come down there to see S.A. Cosby, but it's even further. It's like 2.5 hours.
I know Cumberland. I was
And
like,
then
oh,
they're like first come, first serve for seating in their standing room. And I'm like, I don't know about this.
yeah, have time. I don't like fighting people in crowds and things like that.
You think it's gonna be that crowded?
I don't know. I wonder.
I mean, a Barnes and Noble can only be so big.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been to that location, but I mean, it's Barnes and Noble. It's not even like it's a
Mhm.
theater, right? So I don't
I'm
know.
thinking Barnes and Noble, at least the ones here, their areas for that are kind of small.
That's same. I think the biggest area I've seen is like the children's book area.
Yep.
Oh, that's Kelly Carter Jackson. We Refuse is going to be in New Orleans.
The book with the shotgun. I mean, the girl
Yeah,
with the shotgun that I
yes,
like.
and I want to go, but it's the same night as our convening. So I've been waiting for them to give us the schedule. Like, can I sneak over the ball at 6 o'clock and make
Yeah.
my way back?
I love the cover of that book. I think I want one.
I
Just
need to get that
have it,
book.
coffee table book or something.
It's good. I started reading it. I started listening to it. I was like, oh no, I gotta read this one. Like
Okay.
it's one of those I'm gonna be highlighting kind of.
Yeah.
And I keep getting it and I keep sending it back like delay. Not ready.
I love that.
I might have lied about S.A. Cosby. I thought he was gonna be here, but now I don't see the ticket for it. I was like, did I make that up? I should have. I could have sworn I saw him on here, but maybe not.
I can't keep up. Like they threw in about 20 different Atlanta events yesterday, and I have no idea what's what. I'm like, I need to start marking this shit on my calendar. It was S.A. Cosby. There was 2 Daniel Blacks thrown out there yesterday. Kim threw one out.
Yeah.
I think I'll
What
probably
was the other one?
It's in Gwinnett. It's in the Snellville branch. So I think I'm gonna catch him with that. It's the kid that played Jalen Hall. He played if you ever seen Till, he played Emmett Till in that movie, and he plays in some other things too. But I was like, yeah, I probably am gonna go to that.
The
It's
little brother on All American. He's
yes.
Okay.
What's his name's brother?
Spencer.
Yes, Spencer's brother. Yes, there you go.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm gonna go see them.
DJ at Baldwin and another friend of mine both recommended The Sacred Place by Daniel Black. I haven't read that one, but it's based on the Emmett Till story. Have y'all read that one?
I want to say
I think I bought it.
or I own it. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think
He kept the last time I was in there, he was like, Jessica, you got to read this book. He's like, if you like Daniel Black, you've got to read this book. So I'm like, okay, let me hurry up and read it because I don't want to go back over there and I hadn't read it.
I like them. They send me videos and stuff in my messages.
Oh,
yeah.
They sent me a coupon code, but they every so often
they will send you. I ordered 3 shirts when they sent me one. I'm like, oh, that's the one I had on that. They have a more books, less talk shirt, and I had it on the airport, and the TSA agent wanted to talk about my shirt, and I was like, lady, read it.
Right.
Like, I don't want to talk about talking.
She don't remember what them signs mean.
She was like, these kids today, they don't know how to talk. They just blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, okay. I don't want to talk either, though. I know how, but I don't want to.
That's funny.
I'm like, and why is TSA being so friendly? I'm sneaking stuff in as you're not checking my stuff. You talking about my shirt.
Busy talking, right? That's too funny. Well, ladies, another great book chat.
Next month.
You know, we're doing, probably can't even see the book, but there you go.
See it.
By Kennedy Ryan. I know there's a reflection. There we go.
I finished it yesterday.
I finished it last week. Loved it. Loved Hendrix. Loved Maverick. Loved all the things. So that was a good one. Hopefully I'll remember in a month from now what the heck it was about. So straight, but oh, and by the way, if you're planning on reading Washington Black, don't. That y'all liked it? Who said that? Did somebody read it and like it?
I didn't read
No,
it.
I was just surprised.
It's like I love books, that touch on slavery and things like it was just there was nothing to it. And it was just, and I don't know. I could tell you that I played it and I really just wasn't even listening to it. I just played it just so that I can say that I can check it off as dead. Basically, a slave master gives his slave to his brother. He becomes his travel companion. The brother isn't like mean or anything like that, so they kind of are like friends, but it's just their journey of like traveling to different places, and there's really just nothing that happens throughout the book. It's just so boring. So, I mean, read it if you want.
Interesting to see what they do with the TV series then.
And I think the TV series will probably be much better, like because my expectations for this book are just there's none. I think I rated it 2.5 stars. Like that's just and that's low for me. I try not to low anything lower than a 3 if I can, but it was just it didn't keep my attention. And I wouldn't even pause it or rewind it. I'm just like, I'll let this play. Whatever I missed, it's gonna be all right because I'm trying to get through this 15-hour book or whatever it was, and it was painful. It was painful. I was ready to be done with it, and I think I finished it like Sunday or maybe even Monday. I don't know, but yeah, I didn't want to read it, and I think my mind was already on Black Romance Book Fest too. But even if it wasn't, it was just bad. So just putting that out there because I know the series is coming and people are probably gonna rush to like read or listen to it. I'm like, skip it. Save your time. So, anyways, you ladies have an amazing evening, and we'll see you next month.
Bye.
Good night.
Night, everybody.